Welcome to my library. Today we're going to read a book called Night of the Moon Jellies. It is written and illustrated by Shasha. Beautiful book. I think you're really going to enjoy this one. Night of the Moon Jellies. Beautiful illustrations. Shasha, Night of the Moon Jellies. The summer I was 7, I helped out 2 days a week at Margrar's, a seaside hot dog stand that made the best lobster rolls in New England. It was named after the owners, my grandmother Mary and her sister Grace. One Friday morning I woke up at Graham's and grabbed my apron on the way out the door. Along the beach, I picked up pieces of sea glass, worn and rounded by the ocean. Then I found something that felt like jelly. I put it in a plastic bag with the sea glass, poured in some seawater, and ran the rest of the way to Margrar's. There he is, picking up stuff along the beach. See the birds in the background, fishing boat, seagull, starfish. There he is, running. Graham was already there, getting the stand ready for opening. She hugged me, and a puff of flour rose up from her apron. There she is, getting Margrar's all opened up. I gave her the plastic bag, and she held it up to the light. "It looks like something special is in here, with the sea glass, Mark," she said. "What is it, Graham?" "It's a surprise," said Graham, "but it will have to wait until later." She gave me a kiss and put the bag near the sink. There was still a lot of work to do before opening. Graham took a big pinch of salt, stirred it into the lobster sauce, and scooped a bit into a cup. We each took a sweet, buttery sip. Look at all the stuff. Look, see, they've got their pots on the stove. Stack of cups. I think these are, you know what? I think these are milkshake machines. So those are probably metal cups for the milkshake machines. Lollipops. There's their phone. Graham folded and pinned my apron to make it fit, then put a paper hat on my head. She started to shape hamburger patties while I stacked them between sheets of wax paper. There they are. He's putting the wax paper between them. Cans on the shelf. "Good morning, you two," boomed Uncle Al. He switched on the grill and sprinkled it with slices of pepper and onion. Graham started the fried clams while I checked the ketchup, mustard, and relish jars. I was also in charge of straws and napkins. Aunt Grace walked in, tying her apron, just as the first customers drove up. Cousin Raleigh appeared around the corner with a stack of umbrellas on his shoulder. I cranked them open as he dropped them into the holes in the tables. Behind us, the stand had filled. There's Cousin Raleigh with the umbrellas on his shoulders outside. And there's Uncle Al starting the grill. He's pouring some ketchup. It looks like he's focused and concentrating on that. Doesn't want to spill it. 3 lobster rolls, 2 orange sodas, burgers, 3 fries, 2 chocolate shakes. Fries crackled, cheeseburgers sizzled. "More rolls," called Uncle Hal. "Rushing through," Graham said, carrying a kettle of clam chowder up front. "Low on straws," Raleigh shouted. I hurried to fill the box. Look how busy they are. There's their menu. French fries, 25 cents. Cheeseburgers, 45 cents. There he is. He's filling straws. He looks very intent. Finally, the seats facing the water were empty again. "Let's have lunch while we can," Graham said, bringing over a tray of lobster rolls and onion rings. We ate where we could watch the boats. "I think it'll be even busier tonight," Graham said, "and we're out of onion rings." See, there's their tables. And there's their umbrellas that they set up earlier. She opened a bag of onions and sliced them into loops. We dipped them into sticky batter, then into breadcrumbs. Uncle Al hauled the popcorn machine to its nighttime place on the counter. Graham filled its tray with corn kernels and butter sticks. Uncle Al switched on the inside lights. 4 popcorn, 4 orange sodas, 2 burgers, 2 dogs, 6 vanilla shakes. Cheese! Yelled Uncle Al. Right here, Aunt Grace said, dropping a stack of slices on the plate. There's the popcorn machine. Customers crowded the counter. Radios blared baseball and music. Horns beeped. Ketchup's low, shouted Uncle Al. Lobster rolls ready, Graham called. Pots clanged, the register rang, customers waved as they drove off. I ate a cheeseburger. It was a busy, noisy night. Look at all the cars lined up. All the people lined up to get their food. And they have more umbrellas and tables over here on this side. When the last customers left, it was time to begin the night chores. Uncle Al scrubbed the grill to a silvery shine. Graham washed the pots and the utensils. I helped her dry them and put them away. Raleigh collected the umbrellas. The counter workers went home. Good night, you two, Uncle Al said as he locked the stand. He hugged us and drove off into the moonlight, leaving us with the sounds of crickets and rustling leaves. Graham handed me a sweater. You'll need this for the surprise, she said. She started down the pier and stopped at a boat, the Periwinkle. Welcome aboard, said a cheery voice. Tyler, a fisherman, helped us onto the boat. There's hot chocolate inside, he said. Tyler threw the ropes onto the dock and climbed up to start the engine. The engine roared as we headed out to the dark sea. Let's go in and keep warm, Graham said. There's their boat. See the big ropes that are holding the boat to the dock? The moon's out. The cabin smelled of hot chocolate. The lights along the shore got smaller and closer together. We went out further and further. Then the engine slowed. Graham held up the bag of sea glass and jellies. Something sparkled inside. It's a moon jelly, Graham said. I almost dropped the pot of chowder when the moon jelly flickered in the bag near the sink earlier today. The engine stopped suddenly. Graham peered out the window. Tyler's found the place where this belongs, she said with a smile. I bounded out of the cabin. Whoa, look at that. Thousands of moon jellies stretched along the sea in every direction. I opened the bag and poured out the moon jelly. Now it was with the others. We stood on the deck and watched the shimmering sea. Almost looks like the stars in the sky are being reflected in the water, but those are all of the luminescent moon jellies. They make their own light. It's pretty cool. There's their boat, the Periwinkle. After a while, Tyler started the engine and we headed home. At the dock, we thanked Tyler and walked to Graham's. She made chamomile tea and put some melon on a plate. She held up the pieces of sea glass to the light, then put them into a small box. She was writing something on the box when my eyes began to close. It read, "With love, to Mark, from Graham, on our night of the moon jellies." There's his pieces of melon. He's in his pajamas with socks on, his feet. His hair's all messy. They've got books on the floor, paper airplane. Looks like some nuts and a nutcracker and a harmonica. The author's note. When I worked at the hot dog stand in the late 1960s, long before cell phones and the internet, our daily routines were not as public as they are now. People had few ways to announce their plans, so spotting a friend at a nearby picnic table was a pleasant surprise. And conversation was less predictable too, as there was no way to know someone else's life unless someone actually spent time talking with someone. Young and old, everyone has important stories to share. It is one of the lessons I learned from those days. Technology now enables us to connect and communicate in new ways, and I welcome it by sharing, listening, and opening our minds. We broaden our understanding of each other's and our world. Margrars closed long ago in New London, Connecticut, yet people and their stories live on with each retelling of Night of the Moon Jellies. It has been a joy to be a part of your story. Thank you for being a part of mine. Mark Shasha. There he goes, off with his broom. There's the author. Beautiful book. Well, thank you for coming to my library. I hope you'll come back so we can read together again. Please ask your parents or an adult to like and subscribe to this channel. And let me know in the comments below what your favorite book is so I can read it too. I'll see you next time.